I'm going to keep reminding us to speak up, because vulnerability comes in a lot of different packages. And sometimes we have to speak up. I'm just going to mention this because it's so fresh. And I know this is true. Your rare children who may or may not be able to verbalize, they can also be really vulnerable. Last time we met, Amy was talking about, you were talking about your son, and it's like you're vulnerable because you can't be heard. And there's all kinds of vulnerabilities, and there's all kinds of boundaries that people might cross if we don't say, actually, that's a boundary, and vice versa, that sometimes we or a rare child might cross a boundary, and as such, in doing so, they become vulnerable. So yeah, I could say more about that later. Let's begin with meditation. So we've already gone on our way. So, okay. So just closing the eyes if they're not already closed. And let the spine be long. You can sit up or you can lie down. Just really let your spine be long. If you're sitting up, you can tuck your chin. And just breathing. Breathing. And letting go. And really settling into this moment. And one way to really arrive here is to notice your breath. Notice your breath. And as you're turning toward your breath, you might notice that the body starts to settle, starts to let go. You might also notice that there are places that are tense. So just feeling into the places that are relaxing, and other places you notice that might be feeling tense. And perhaps whatever you're noticing can be a signal for you to drop a little deeper, tapping into this notion of vulnerability. How do you feel vulnerable in your own body? How are you vulnerable as a parent, as a rare giver? All the vulnerabilities that come with being human, being in a body. And then, as we know, vulnerability can also show us our strength, our willingness to be vulnerable, our willingness to be exposed, to show our tender parts. This takes strength. This shows us our resiliency. Maybe you turn your palms up to the sky. And in one palm, just feel how vulnerable you are, how vulnerable your whole family is. Just giving it space. Maybe there's an image that appears. Just feeling the weight, the shape, the qualities of vulnerability. And then in the other palm, just feel into the strength, the resiliency, the power that comes with the willingness to be vulnerable, to speak the truth. And just sense into the qualities of strength and resiliency that shine through vulnerability. See if there's any image. Maybe you can feel its weight. Just notice how you can hold both. Strength in one hand, vulnerability in the other. That they coexist. And just see if anything else is arising. And then slowly bring yourself back. And when we open our eyes, we will pull out our journals and just reflect for a few minutes on strength and vulnerability. What's your experience of vulnerability? Being a rare giver, rare parent. And how does strength shine through? You can embrace both strength and vulnerability at the same time. All right, so let's just take a few minutes and then we'll come back. taking a tiny bit more time to finish up whatever you're writing. Give yourself space to reflect and to feel.